Hey friends, I've been thinking lately about overwhelm. Not just because my house needs so much work, or because my garage is overflowing, or because the weeds are taking over, but because I finally realized that overwhelm just doesn't motivate me. What it does is it paralyzes me. I'm Lisa, and this is Second Peak Midlife. For years, I'd walk outside and immediately I see everything that needs to be done. The driveway weeds, and I swear the grass grows better in the cracks of the pavement than it does in our yard. But I see the gravel full of weeds coming through the plastic underlay. I see the trees that need to be cut, that are dead or dying. The poison ivy that's just creeping into everything. I see the pressure washing that needs to be done, the shutters that need to be secured, the overgrown flower beds out here and out front that need weeding and need dividing. And I see the garage full of old paint and new vanities for the unstarted bathroom remodel that we were going to do that got postponed. I see the basement that's full of holiday decorations that I don't even use. And the art studio that's become a storage bank for all of my creative ideas for someday. And the library I dream about while stacks of books just pile up on the floor. And the list just keeps growing. And every time I see it, I just feel exhausted before I even start. And so maybe you experience that too. And not just with your house, but with your finances, or with your health, or your marriage, or your career, or your inbox, your garage, your calendar. Everything needs attention. And for me, everything just feels urgent. And because everything feels urgent, then nothing really gets done. And so that's paralysis. And I used to think that I had a motivation problem, but I don't think that I have that. I have an overwhelm problem. And recently something interesting happened, and I was talking with my husband about all of this, and I said something without even realizing how important it was. And I said, maybe I don't have to pick all the blueberries. We can just pick what we can. And that sentence just made me pause, because it isn't about the blueberries. It's kind of about all of life. And then I remembered something that my grandmother used to say, and she'd say, do what you can and let the rest go. Just matter-of-factly. And when I was younger, I thought that meant kind of lowering your standards. And now I think she was talking about just peace. Because there's always going to be another weed. There's always going to be another load of laundry, another email, another project, another room, another season. And the work is never finished. So this week, instead of standing in my driveway feeling defeated like I did earlier in the week, I just decided something. I'm going to make 2 phone calls. I'm going to get 2 estimates from yard guys, and I've already decided that I can budget for a little bit of help right now. And I'm going to have another handyman come over and secure every shutter on the house, and he's already quoted it's going to be about $250. And did that solve everything? No. Am I going to have to let loose some money? Yeah. But the dead trees are still there, the garage is still full, the basement still needs work, the art studio still needs organizing, the deck still needs pressure washing out there, and the weeds are certain to come back. But something changed. I stopped trying to solve my entire property problem all at once, and I just solved one problem. And I think that's how paralysis loses its grip. Not because the list gets shorter overnight, but because movement starts replacing staring at it. And I think that's been my mistake. I think I've been treating my home like one big giant project when it isn't. It's dozens of little projects. And some belong this summer, some belong next year, and some might have to wait until retirement. And I think that's okay. And I'm starting to realize that I don't have really an overwhelming life. I just have today's responsibilities, and that's all. Today, I can make 2 phone calls. Tomorrow, maybe I'll clean another bathroom. Between work appointments, I'll throw in a load of laundry. Or maybe I'll pick a few more tomatoes or some blueberries. Not all of them, just the ones that I can, that I have time for. The bush is just overwhelming. That word again. But faithful stewardship isn't doing everything. It's doing today's work and trusting God with tomorrow's. And I think that's what my grandmother meant all along when she said, do what you can and let the rest go. So thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. Does overwhelm ever paralyze you? I'd love to hear what kind of projects you've been putting off or what part of your home weighs the most on you right now. Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you next time.